Well, hello, my wonderful parents and guardians. Mr. Mack here. I want to send you this video, and I'm going to try to make it short and sweet because I've got another video that I want you to watch that has to do with some reading testing that's going on next week. It's just easier than me typing everything out. This has to do with Google Classroom and some things about Google Classroom that parents, you have to know. And some of you may already know, but a lot of you, you're relying on your kids to understand Google Classroom. So as far as Google Classroom is concerned, using it since last March 13th, when we left school, the kids have gotten used to getting in and out of Google Classroom and kind of what to do. This year, after having off the summer, we've gotten back into the throw of using student Google Classroom and being virtual, and having Zoom meetings and all that kind of stuff. And but there's some things about it that you need to know. There are many parents out there who, as I said, are relying on their own children to know Google Classroom and what to do and what to look for. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And every now and again, you may, as a parent, say, hey, let me see your assignments. Let me see what it looks like. And you'll sit next to your child and they'll open up Google Classroom. And just speaking of my own, they'll open it up and you'll see Mr. Max, the Wolf Den. You'll see all of the assignments, clearly labeled, nice big titles. They'll click on it and they can show you what the assignments are. They'll show you the things I've written for each one. Also on each assignment, there are dates to the right. On every single assignment, there is a date to let the student know when it's due, if it's due today, if it's past. In other words, it's something that's already been done, taken care of or whatever. So and then they're going to take you to another part where they're going to click on and they're going to show you all of the assignments. And next to it, you're going to see some words. And one of the words might be assign. And if you see the word assign next to one of my lessons or one of my assignments, it just means that assignment has been assigned. They haven't done it yet. It's there, ready for them to click on and do the assignment. Then you'll see another it'll say turned in. Well, this is great because that means they did the assignment and then they clicked turned in and zip, the assignment came back to me so that I could correct it to give them their grade. You'll also see something that says missing. And, we don't want to see a lot of missings, but missing simply means that the student hasn't gone in, that it's past the due date. The student hasn't gone in and looked to see what's up with that assignment. And so it's missing. They haven't gone in there yet to do it. It's past the due date. And it doesn't happen like 2 or 3 days after. So you're going to see these things. And, 95% of all students, everything is perfect, honky-dory. Perfectly positive, which means when you look in there and you see these things, when you see assigned, oh, that's something they have to do. It's something that's due next week or whatever. When you see turned in, you're so proud of them because there are so many turns in. That means they turned in their work. Yay. Well, it does mean that they turned in their work, but it could also mean that they just hit the turn in button. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. I'm not saying that any of my students would ever do such a thing, but there have been students, and this is for any student at any grade using Google Classroom, who perhaps maybe wants to get out of doing an assignment, or at least thinks they might get out of doing an assignment, or at least making their parents think they're doing an assignment. They could go into any lesson. If I assign a lesson and they click on the lesson, and all of my lessons, there's instructions, there's usually a video or something for them to view, a video from me, a video from an instructional piece or a screencast or something. And then there's a separate thing that they would click on. That would be the assignment, So they click on the assignment, the document that they have to do. the thing that has to be completed, and then they hit turn in, and it comes back to me so that I can check it, grade it, and give them their grade. Or if something needs to be fixed or tweaked, I can give them a little message and then hit return, and it goes back to them with my message saying, hey, listen, look at number 2, fix that. I want to give you a better grade, blah, blah, blah. But what's happening is there are kids who are hitting the turn in button but not doing any work. And unfortunately, Google Classroom, allows it. I would like for Google Classroom that a kid can't hit turn in unless something is written on that document. I don't care if it was gibberish, but they can just turn in a blank document. And I have to tell you, I have received a number of blank documents and I would send a message and I'll send them back saying, hey, listen, you turn this in, it says turned in, but there's nothing on it. There are no answers. And then I've had 1 or 2 who might say, well, Mr. Mack, I tried to type on it, but it won't let me. Well, we got almost 70, we got 65 kids. And if every single one of them, most every single one of them who turned it in, they could type on it, so can you. So, again, I'm not saying that any of our kids on our team are doing such a thing, but parents, you be aware. When you're looking at things that say turned in and it looks really good and your kid's telling you, hey, I'm doing all my work and I've turned it all in, and you look on Google Classroom and sure enough, Google Classroom says turned in, that doesn't always necessarily, it could mean, if you're ever hearing stories from other people where something like this might be happening to their child, that the kid just wants to make it look good for you, to make you feel good, to make you know, hey, my assignments are done. I turned them all in. Look, it's right here on Google Classroom. And then you say, great job, nicely done. And then when they hear from me or they hear from a teacher, not from me, from their teacher, whoever's teacher this might be, hey, your son or daughter hasn't turned in their work, or they have, and I've had to turn it back because it's blank. There's a surprise. Really? It says turned in. Well, it's because they turned it in because they wanted to look good on your end. And it looks good on mine too because it says turned in. It's just that when I click on it, there's nothing there. Now, I'm just saying that this is something that could happen. And considering that, there are some students out there on our team and on every team across the nation who are virtual. This isn't just us. This isn't our team in our school and our district. It is everywhere where there are still pieces that have to be turned in. You guys got your progress reports. The progress grades are in, the mid-marking period grades are in. And if some of those grades are lower than expected, ladies and gentlemen, parents, it has nothing to do with the quality of work. It has nothing to do with the kid's ability to do the job or Mrs. Treadwell and I to do the job. It simply has to do with the kids actually turning in the work. If we have 9 grades, but one of my students has only handed in 3 pieces of work, despite me sending them messages, letting them know, hey, let's work together. You got to get this in, or sending a piece back saying, hey, fix this, tweak it. We got to fix this. We got to do this assignment, complete it. And this is just something that will work itself out in time. But I just want you to be aware that when you're looking at at your child's work, and if you're sitting next to them just for a moment, and you ask them, let me see it. Have them show you their actual work. Show them the document. Have them show you. I can't tell you how many times I've had to return a work. Now, could it be something on your end with a computer or something like that? Yeah, absolutely. But that's not always the case. If the document is editable, in other words, everyone else is able to write on it and do whatever they have to do, put their answers where they're supposed to be, then everyone should be able to do that too. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know that. Because we're moving forward, and we're moving forward into the year, and things are going to be better. And I want you to be confident parents, knowing that, these last 3 weeks, I've really been relying on the kids, wanting them to take the responsibility and do what get their work in, get it done. But from this point forth, I've let them know, listen, I'm going to have to start. I'm going to have to start making calls. I'm going to have to start sending emails to moms and dads to say, hey, this assignment was due Wednesday and it's still not in. Just to let them know, keep them abreast of what's happening. But anyway, it'll all work out. I want you to know that. But be aware of Google Classroom. Be aware of those terms: assign, turn in, missing. If something's assigned, it means that the kid still has to do it. If something's turned in, it means they finished it. And they've turned it in to me. And missing just means they haven't touched it. They haven't gone in. They haven't done anything with it. And they need to go do that. They need to get that piece of work done. And that's it. That's really all I want to tell you on this video. Take care. And I hope you had a great weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.